What is up, everybody? It's your boy R2, and man, does it feel good to say that again. Hello everyone, I'm back. It's been a while. It's probably been a week or so. It hasn't been that long, but I just haven't been making videos, mostly because I've been a bit sickish, if that's a word. I've been a little sick, you know, I had the sniffles and all that stuff. So, but now I'm feeling way better. My nose is clear in a way, not as good, but it's still kind of clear, and I thought I'd do this top 10 movies of the year. Again, these are my opinions, and man, I have to say, I saw a bunch of movies this year. Like, not even as a kid, I saw a lot of movies. Like, this year, I broke records, man, of how many times I've went to the theater, purchased a ticket, got out of the room, movie hopped to another movie, and then went home. Because every time I went to the movies, I at least saw a good 2-3 films, because I just movie hop. I know that's bad, but it's a little something I picked up when I was a kid, going with my mom, my little brothers and sisters. You know, we were paying for this movie, we're wasting like $50 almost. We're not just gonna see one movie, we gotta see a couple movies, you know. We would spend all day in the theaters, we paid for one movie, we go outside, we probably get our refill of popcorn and soda, and then go walk around and see, this movie looks nice, let's go watch this one, knowing nothing of the movie. Like, I remember once walking into the Ring movie, I believe, and it was in that scene where the horse is right there and the horse is going crazy, and then now the noise is all loud. I'm like, no, I don't want none of this, I'm out of here. But those are fun times as a kid, and I thought, since mostly everyone is doing it, I thought I'd just give out everyone's doing their top 5, but since I saw a lot of movies, and a lot of good ones actually, that I really liked, and not a lot of people else liked, but I liked them, I decided to make a top 10. Now, before I go into my top 10, I want to just mention some basically honorable mentions, as people like to say. First up, we have 300 Rise of an Empire. It was a great war movie. I think it was one of the first movies I actually went to see of this year. Maybe not, I'm not sure. But it was a great war film, you know. 300, that was a good film. 300 Rise of an Empire, it was on par with 300, but you know, it kind of missed it, but it was great, man. I love the action in that film. I think it left us in a cliffhanger too, I believe. I don't remember, it's been a while since I saw it. I only saw it once actually, but the first time I saw it, I believe I saw it in 3D, so you know how those films get, you know, the blood splashing everywhere and all the swords fighting and it was a good war film, man. It was in my top 10, but you know, other films came in. Next up, we have Anchorman 2, The Legend Continues. Obviously, Anchorman 1 with Will Ferrell was great. This one was as great, maybe a little less, but I recently saw it on Netflix actually, and I believe it did come out this year. But if it didn't come out this year, my bad. But Anchorman 2 was just fun, especially that I love that they brought that scene back where all these news reporting teams are coming in together and they have this big old battle royale, should I say. And Will Smith comes up and Kanye West comes up, and that was so beautiful, man. It was funny. Anchorman 2 was pretty funny, you know. Will Ferrell was great. Next, we have Godzilla. Now, I think this is the movie to kick off my year of movie-going trips, I believe. I believe it was. I could be wrong. I think I'm wrong. But anyways, Godzilla. Now, I know a lot of people go back to the 1998 Godzilla where they say, oh, that movie was trash. They try to Americanize Godzilla. But for me, I loved that film as a kid. Like, even today when that movie comes on, I'm like, oh, it's Godzilla. And I always go back to that one scene where the old Chinese dude, or I don't know his race, but the old guy is dying in bed or whatever, and they're moving the lighter between his eyes, and all he's saying is Gojira, Gojira. And like, my whole family knows that line, man. My dad says that every time we mention Godzilla, he goes Gojira, Gojira. So I love that movie as a kid, and I even compared that movie to Godzilla, which is just out of my mind. I don't know why I did, but this year I compared the Godzilla in 2014 to the one in 1998, and I was like, no, it's not as good as 1998. No, it's not as good, man. But now I look at him like, okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I was just like, my nostalgia was kicking in and was refusing to accept this new Godzilla, this new interpretation of Godzilla, which is the American version, but with the design of the old, I'm not sure where Godzilla, was it Japan, China? I don't know, but Tokyo or something? I don't know. I'm sorry. My Godzilla history has been a little off. And I gotta give it up to this film because of Godzilla is why I'm doing this, which is interesting because of Godzilla, I got a little Godzilla kick. So I went on YouTube, I typed in history of Godzilla. I found a video by Variant Comics. Most of you guys know him, but if you don't, go check him out. Variant Comics, history of Godzilla, you know, he gave the rundown of his past and new origin and all that stuff. I was like, oh, this is cool. I click on his channel and then comic books up the butt, I don't know why I said that, but comic books everywhere, like history of this guy. And I was like, okay, I started to get into, you know, like history of Aquaman. That's why I like Aquaman so much, because he was like the first guy I actually got to know in a way, because as a kid, you know, I saw my Spider-Man films, I saw my X-Men films, I saw the Fantastic Four films, but Aquaman was like the character that, like, Variant Comics, you know, he showed me the way, essentially, like, so I got a big thanks to you, big shout out to Variant Comics. That's why I'm into comics as of now, because of Godzilla. So, it was in my top 10, but it got bumped. Next up is Heaviness for Real. Man, these honorable mentions are going way too long. I'm sorry, I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. I'm just gonna pass them. Heaviness for Real, great movie. I don't want to talk about religion here because it is YouTube and it is media, but it's a family film. It's a heartwarming film. If you really like that stuff, you know, you should go watch it. It's pretty moving, you know. But moving on, we have Neighbors, which was a fun film. Seth Rogen and I was going to say James Franco because of the interview, but James Gunn. Damn, Seth Rogen and Zac Efron. Those are just great. They're like Jonah Hill to Channing Tatum in a way. Yeah. That's cool, yeah. Seth Rogen is Jonah Hill, which 22 Jump Street when they put Jonah Hill in one of the, was it 29 Jump Street Sunday School or something like that? Oh, that was great. But yeah, Neighbors was a fun movie, which is an awkward movie because it was one of the movies I movie hopped to, and I saw it with my mom, my 10-year-old sister, and my 7-year-old brother. So you get the idea. If you saw Neighbors, you know what I'm talking about. But moving on, we have Real 2. I saw Real 1. It was a family movie. We all went to go see it. I liked it, you know, because it had my man Bruno Mars as one of the cacas or whatever they call it again. I don't know. But Real 2, there you go. The Lego Movie. Fun movie again. I really wanted to watch this movie because many people were saying, oh, the Lego Movie's fun. It's like, has adult themed jokes in it and it's real cool. I'm like, dang, this movie sounds really good. And I saw it, you know, it was pretty fun, but I don't think it almost made my expectations, really. But it was a really great film. You should go watch it. It's pretty fun. And the last one, my boy Christmas Clops is not gonna, Christmas Clocks, Laser Clops is not gonna like this, man. I'm in the whole festivities in my mind. But my boy Laser Clops, jeez, my boy is not gonna like this one. My honorable mention, my last one, is A Million Ways to Die in the West. Why? Because it was funny, it was stupid, and I'm stupid, and I wanted to go watch with my friend, and the first couple minutes had me cracking up when we said, hell, this was Miss America, and the whole room started, but it was a beautiful icebreaker. I laughed. Oh, it was stupid fun, okay, but it was just bad. It was bad, but it was funny because it was bad, you feel me? But onto that, I gotta zip by this, man. I'm wasting too much on this, but now let's get into my top 10. Alright, at number 10 we have Dracula Untold, starring Luke Evans. Now, I saw this movie in trailers and everything, you know, like, I saw the build up to the movie, I'm like, wow, this is badass, you know, like, Dracula coming down with a fist of bats, and like the bats are spreading and everything. I'm like, I never seen this before. What is this? Oh my goodness. I never seen this before. Dracula, bats, he's flying, he's Batman, he's the first Batman, man. Luke Evans is Batman, alright? I love that film. Not a lot of people love it. They thought it was a horrible origin story, you know, they thought all this other stuff shouldn't have been there. People gave crap about it, but, you know, I really wanted to see this movie. I wanted to go watch it. I saw it with my bunch of friends, you know, we made jokes in the film, you know, regarding some scenes like, why isn't he doing this? Why can't he just do that? But after all, overall, it was a pretty fun film, and I really like it, and I really want to watch it again just to get more feel to it. But number 9, we have How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, before I go on, my list is going to be a little crazy, because you're going to be like, what? Why? Okay, whatever. It's your opinion. I respect that. But you're gonna feel that way. But number 9, we have How to Train Your Dragon 2. Now, How to Train Your Dragon 1, I saw it. It was real good. And it was a nice kid, adult-friendly movie. But How to Train Your Dragon 2 was, I believe, it was way better than How to Train Your Dragon, the first one. I thought it was way better. Like, everything, it had emotion, had scenery, cinematics, and all that stuff. Like, you saw all these dragons. He finally meets his mom, and then the ending, spoilers if you haven't seen it, skip over 30 seconds or so, but when Toothless kills his dad and everything, I'm like, oh, what the hell, this is crazy. It was emotional, it was great. And then Toothless became like the king of dragons and everything, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I really liked it. It was a fun animated film. The only animated film I saw other than Rio 2. I really wanted to watch Big Hero 6 with my family, but that didn't happen because, you know, financial crap. At number 8, we have Maleficent, as I like to say, because the guy says it like that. And ever since that, I was like, I love this movie because the way he says Maleficent, like, I don't know what he is. I think he's Irish, or I don't know what he is, but he goes Maleficent, and I just say it. That's how I say it, man. I'm gonna say every time I mention this movie, I'm gonna say Maleficent because that. Okay, I'm going off, but I saw this movie on the second day of my job this summer. Like, the first day I came, like, oh, we're going to the movies tomorrow. We're setting it up. I'm like, oh, this is awesome. This is cool. Because I work in a teen center. You know, I work with kids and stuff like that. So they were going to the movies for the summer break. You know, it was during the summer. It was like a week or two before they went back to school, and they wanted to go to the movies. So I was like, it was either between Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or Maleficent, and all the guys obviously wanted to go watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And some of the girls wanted to go watch Maleficent. Of course, it's a Disney film, you know, it's a story about Sleeping Beauty, and I was like, you know what, I want to watch Dawn of the Planet of the Apes because I heard that movie's badass. But then we didn't get to see it because we were late, because our driver didn't come early, so we missed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, so we couldn't get it. And my dumb self thought, oh look, Hercules is on, but it was for the PM version, and I was like, damn it, we can't watch Hercules. So we settled for Maleficent. And I gotta tell you, I was blown away by this film. Angelina Jolie was amazing in this film. I think Maleficent was fun, you know. It was a dark, cool twist on the story of Sleeping Beauty. I think it was on Sleeping Beauty. Correct me if I'm wrong though, but I'm pretty sure it was on Sleeping Beauty. No, it was Snow White, was it? Okay, I don't even know, dude. It's one of those. Snow White or Sleeping Beauty. I don't remember, but was it? I'm just going out. I don't know. Sleeping Beauty or one of those, but Maleficent was fun. You know, it was great. I love the twist at the end. You know, she's evil, but then she makes her turn good and kind and stuff, and like the whole forest turns into light. And it was really heartwarming and touching, and it was a real cool movie. Like, she was badass. You know, she had the wings, but she got caught off. But then, and all this stuff happened. If you haven't seen Maleficent and you thought it's kind of like a girly movie or whatever, it's like, it's not man enough for you, you gotta go watch Maleficent and give it a shot. Because really, I think I like this way that Disney's going. I think they're making a Cinderella movie, and that movie looks pretty interesting to me. But, you know, Cinderella's that minor thing, but Maleficent was cool. Going on, number 7, I literally just watched this today on Christmas Day, 22 Jump Street. Man, was this such a fun film, you know. It had so many great moments where I just laughed, I just clapped. I was like, oh, this guy, they're doing this, aren't they? Oh, it was so amazing. Especially on the parent day where Jonah Hill meets her dad, and it turns out it's his captain and all that stuff. I forget the names though, man. I forget the names. Schmidt. It was Schmidt. Schmidt meets the captain daughter and everything. Oh, it was so fun. And like Queen Latifah's Ice Cube's wife, that was just beautiful, man. And it was just a fun film, you know. It had really great moments, really great jokes. You know, that's all I gotta say about that. 22 Jump Street was real fun. I think I wanted to go watch it, or I think I was like, no, I'm gonna pass on this movie. But then I started hearing about it and how great it was, and I was like, you know, I kind of want to go watch it now, because honestly, I wasn't really a big fan of 21 Jump Street, because I was like, it's okay, it's not that funny. I mean, you know, it has some jokes, you know, dick jokes and stuff like that. And I was like, you know, I'm not a fan of this like kind of cruel humor in a way, like some nasty, like dirty humor in a way. But then, you know, I kind of get used to it because my friends are kind of dirty humorists and I enjoy that. But Whatever. 22 Jump Street was fun. Probably better than 21 Jump Street. At number 6, we have The Maze Runner. Now, I watched this like almost a couple days ago, a few days ago, half a week ago-ish. And man, this movie was great. I gotta tell you that, man. This movie was fun. Like, it was entertaining, it was suspenseful. Oh, like at the end and everything. This movie's really, it was a great young adult adaptation to film. Now, I haven't read the Maze Runner series or anything like that, so those book purists or whatever might be a little pissed off on the Maze Runner. I'm not sure. I haven't really heard their comments on the film, but I really liked Maze Runner, and that's why it's at number 6. Easily could have been in my top 5, but this top 5 is jam packed. Like, Maze Runner is good. It's like 5.1, I would have to say, but it's at 6, which is the best, really. And at number 5, we have X-Men Days of Futures Past. Now, this film was pretty good, man. I liked it. I liked the concept, but at times it was kind of like slow because there wasn't really much action to it. But it was really more a story film, and then with a big impact, with a big oh my god, like that kind of moment, you know, like that gasping moment, like like oh crap. Especially at the end when everybody starts dying, and then like you're at the end like Mystique, you gotta choose, are you gonna kill this guy or not? And then you see the outcome of it. You know, you see Storm dying, you see Colossus ripped apart, you see Magneto, you know, he gets a shard in his stomach and he's bleeding to death, and they're going like, my old friend, why did it take this so long to realize we're equal, or like to realize how bad it is, you know, war is not good and everything. And I was like, wow, that's such a touching moment. And especially at the end, man, I was like, oh. And then, spoilers if you haven't seen it, when Jean Grey and Cyclops come back, I'm like, what? They came back, but you know, they're not gonna use them because they're being recasted. But it was a nice moment for how long it lasted, you know, the good 1 minute that lasted. But I can't wait for X-Men Apocalypse, you know. Hopefully, too bad, I don't know, are we gonna see Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart as Magneto and Professor X again? Who knows? Maybe in flashbacks, maybe in not flashbacks, but like future travels or whatever. I don't know. Hopefully we see them again, but I feel like X-Men Days of Future Past is their swan song, or their going away party, because I don't know if they're ever gonna use them again, because I know they're sticking with the first class cast with X-Men Apocalypse, excluding Wolverine, which he's been in all the movies, and he's been a great Wolverine, and I love that guy. But there you go. Number 5, Days of Future Past. At number 4, we have The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. Now, I saw this in IMAX 3D, which is an amazing experience because it was my first time watching The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies it was my first time watching an IMAX 3D film. And what better way to do than The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, where everything is CGI and everything special effects, and oh, it was so great, man. It was such touching story. It was great character development, the way the characters interacted with each other and how they just bounced off each other, and the chemistry was great. The battles were crazy. I was like, man, these guys are hugging while everybody is fighting in here, man, and they're talking about, hey, how you doing and where you been at, man. And it was just fun, you know. It was like that last hour or so was so suspenseful, and like, holy crap, is he gonna die? Like when Thorin was battling the I don't know what the hell to call it again, man. I lose myself sometimes, you know. Was it an ogre or the whatever it was, you know? It was fighting Thanos. Holy crap, what swing can kill him, you know? Like a swing's gonna come in and he's gonna die. I'm like, who's gonna die eventually? Spoilers if you haven't seen it. No, I'm not gonna spoilers. Well, kind of, you know, you kind of know if you read the books, but they will die, no. But it was beautiful, man. The whole story, and I loved. Oh my god, I don't know if I should tell you, but the ending was really sweet and heartwarming because it picks up. Spoilers. It picks up right in the Lord of the Rings, the first movie, when Bilbo is in his house twiddling with the ring, and then Gandalf comes in and is like, hello old friend, and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, that's nice. And then the movie ends, and I was like, that's wonderful, man. It was a nice trip. The one last time thing, will you follow me one last time? And I was like, oh, this is just great, man. That's why The Hobbit: Battle of the Five Armies is at my number 4. And at my number 3 is Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. Now this film was great, Andy Serkis was great as Caesar. This film was overall great, it was action, it had great story, it had great character interaction and everything. And I can't wait to see where they take it in the third film, because I believe the third film, no humans, man, it's just apes. And I can't wait to see that. It's just gonna be a war amongst apes in a way. And then some time traveling. I don't know if they're gonna go into that where it's like a loop. It's like a time loop and everything. The original Planet of the Apes, or the ones back in the day, back in the 80s or 70s or whatever, where it was kind of like a time loop, and Caesar's son is Caesar, and it's weird. It's a weird cycle, and I was like, this is a weird time loop, man. But I don't know how they're gonna do it for the third film, and I just can't wait for the third film. Now at number 2 and 1 are pretty obvious by now. If you've been catching up, you probably know my number 1 and number 2. But number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, I could have switched out Guardians of the Galaxy with either The Hobbit or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, but most likely it would have been with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, because I've seen both of those films probably around both of the same, like the amount. I've probably seen them most of the time. I've seen them like 2 or 3 times basically. I've seen Guardians like about 3 times, and I've seen Dawn of the Planet of the Apes about 2 times, I believe. So after watching those 2 times, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes is kind of more better to watch the second time, while Guardians of the Galaxy isn't, because I'm like, I kind of know everything that shows up. Like, I kind of know all the one-liners and all the jokes and everything. I kind of know what happens, because it's kind of like, it's easy, It's an easy film you get into, but it was fun, it was amazing. It was my first Marvel film that I saw in theaters, actually, so hooray for me, That's why it's so high on my list, because I hold it in deep regard so much as like I do with Godzilla that came out this year that got me into comics, and Guardians of the Galaxy being the first Marvel film I see in theaters, and basically my first Marvel theater experience, stuff. That's why it's so high on my list. But here we go with number 1, and everybody must be crying their eyes out, or man, not crying their eyes out, but if you stuck this long, I'm sorry I made this video so long, but I had to talk a lot, and it's my comeback, it's my comeback video. So number 1, Million Ways to Die in the West. Now, before you go off in the comments going, what? Why? You're dumb. Here's why. I'm lying. That's why. At number 1, we have Captain America, the Winter Soldier, baby. I saw this film a couple days ago. Again, I saw it a couple times actually. And man, this film continues to surprise me, and I still get giddy about it, Like, I never saw this film in theaters, sadly, which is just damn shame. But I have seen it, sadly, on my laptop, most of the time on my laptop. So, until I see it on the big TV, I'll be satisfied. But so far from what I've seen, man, this film has great action, great story, great character interaction, and just a great plot, I was like, holy crap, man. The first scene when he's on the ship and he's just throwing the shield around and kicking people, freaking Sparta kicking people, man, that was just great, man. The overall story was great. Nick Fury dying, the Winter Soldier, that great Bucky and Steve Rogers relationship, the heartwarming relationship. I'm with you to the end of the line. Man, that was just a great moment. Captain America: The Winter Soldier was the best film, in my opinion, of the damn year. But any of my top 5s could have been my best films. Like, honestly, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes or The Hobbit. I need to watch The Hobbit at least one more time to give my final verdict. But so far from what I've seen of it, it's great. It's pretty awesome, man. But Captain America: The Winter Soldier takes the year at my number 1. And Civil War, man, it has to deliver. Civil War has to be way better than The Winter Soldier. Like, and that's gonna be crazy, because a lot of people are saying that Captain America: The Winter Soldier is the greatest film Marvel has ever made, and I kind of have to agree, because, yeah, I kind of have to agree with that. But eventually, once The Avengers and The Winter Soldier are right up there, but honestly, for me, Captain America's a nudge up the Avengers. But the Avengers did such amazing things. This is why we have a universe. This is why DC has their own universe. This is why all of this other stuff is coming up, like the Monsters universe and everything. Because of the Avengers, they brought different franchises under the same roof in one film, and they made the Avengers. So kudos to the Avengers and the Captain America the Winter Soldier. Now that was my list. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry I took so damn long, but hopefully if you stick by my 25 minutes, damn, that's a long time. I may have to redo this. In the comments down below, let me know your top 10 or top 5, however you want it, movies you saw this year. And let's just talk. How do you feel about my list? Let me know down below. Oh man, it's been so long, guys. It's been a week. Hopefully I'll get back into the roll of things. But for now, I leave you with this video. I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you guys have a Happy New Year. And let's bring on 2015, baby. YouTube Nation, let's all unite in this 2015. Let's all do great things in 2015. Let's become a better YouTuber in 2015, a better person in 2015, and all that jazz. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and this is your boy R2, reminding you to stay nerdy, my friends.